everyone, and welcome to this IT's for Future's Women in Tech Careers evening. It's amazing to see so many of you here tonight, and we hope you really enjoy the absolute plethora of stuff we have on offer here. But first, some housekeeping for you all. We've got a series of question and answer plenary sessions, so please, if there's anything on your mind, put that in the chat that you can see, and we will ensure that our speakers answer your questions. After our first hour of talks, we have a number of breakout drop-in sessions running this evening for you, where you can hear more about specific areas and can ask any questions you may have. To join the session, please go to the agenda tab to the left and select your chosen breakout area. These are sessions where you can find out about different departments at KPMG and how they fit with the skills that you have. Please join as many as you like. These aren't booked up, these aren't workshops. These are about giving you the chance to speak one-to-one with the many people who work at KPMG and hiring managers. These will be running until 7:25, where then there'll be a very quick wrap-up session where we will outline the next steps. If you can't see a capability that you naturally think you'll fit into, please go to our Welcome and Careers FAQ room, where we have a number of people who are there to support you. We're hoping to run another one of these sessions later in the year with a further focus on data, modelling and powered apps. So if you feel like you won't have someone to talk to tonight, don't worry. We have a number of roles open for you, and we definitely have someone that you can talk to. Again, it's fantastic to see so many people here tonight, and it's an absolute pleasure to create this space where so many women can come together and network and discuss the things that are important to them in the technology space. So my name is Jessup. I'm Development Lead of IT's for Future, which is KPMG Technologies' leading Women in Technology programme, which supports not just KPMG, but our clients and our communities. Now I'd like to welcome Lisa and David for our first welcome session. And please ask as many questions as you want. This is the space for you to find out about KPMG.
Thank you, Liz. Hi, everyone. I'm David Rowlands. I head up consulting in the UK, and I'm also on our global advisory steerco. Sorry we can't be here today. I'm dialing in from a rather chilly Edinburgh. I've moved closer to the fire, and Lisa's somewhere down on the south coast. Normally we'd be able to, and we've done several of these where we're all together. We'd have a good chat, but nonetheless, we didn't want to miss this opportunity to keep going and join you at this wonderful event. So thanks very much for coming along and joining us today. It's a great opportunity. So for all of us to meet and broaden our networks, lots of time for questions at the end and to communicate in these breakout sessions with each other. So please post any questions in the chat. For us, we're keen to share a bit more about our teams, all the innovative work that we're doing, the great work that we're doing in technology at KPMG, and some of the purpose behind the work that we're doing for our clients. And of course, for you, it's a great opportunity to explore career opportunities with us. We're hoping that you'll see enough today to apply and kick off that process with us. So quickly about me, as I say, I'm up in chilly Edinburgh. I enjoy rock climbing, ice climbing, mountaineering, cricket. I'm on the same team as my son now, actually. I've got two other daughters in addition, great kids doing gymnastics and drama. My kids are much improved by this new app that I've discovered. I was telling Lisa about it earlier. I can switch on and off each of the devices in the house. So when I'm on streaming like this, I actually get some of the bandwidth. So
we're waiting to see David inundated in a minute by his kids.
Yeah, I know they're going to dive in through the door now. I've switched them off. So in addition to all of that, I've also had a long and enjoyable career in consulting. I've been at KPMG for 12 years, but I started many years before that. So I was thinking about today, and I was thinking about the kind of things that really matter to me when I chose where to work and when I'm, as I planned my career in consulting. So, it's important to me. I knew I wanted to work for a company that had global industry leading clients. I knew I wanted to work for a company that delivered big transformational projects right the way through to outcomes. I knew I wanted to work on projects that actually had a purpose. with social impact. And I also wanted to work for a company that had a great reputation in the market. And I also knew how I wanted it to feel. I wanted to work alongside teams that were collaborative. The power of a team, the power of collaboration especially across diverse capabilities and skills and backgrounds. Collaborative. I wanted an organization that was agile. I wanted it to feel innovative and diverse, inclusive. I wanted it to feel like a home for me. And that's exactly the kind of environment we've been building here at KPMG Consulting. And you'll be able to explore that with some of our team tonight. So what do? We work shoulder to shoulder with clients on some of their most difficult and important challenges that they face today. But we're also thinking about helping them how to prepare for or embrace the new challenges that they may face tomorrow. So things like innovative approaches to reducing carbon footprints, getting to net zero, or we've been working alongside the NHS. We did Project Nightingale in London and Yorkshire. We ran the vaccination programme in Scotland and Yorkshire. Or we might be supporting financial institutions, preventing financial crime, stopping the proceeds of crime from infiltrating our societies. The projects are dynamic and industry leading, and of course we're working at KPMG. We work across all diverse industries and sectors. You may have a particular sector you're focusing on, or you may actually want to be able to rotate around and get experience across sectors. But we're always working alongside our clients to deliver the outcomes they need. So it feels very shoulder to shoulder for our clients. It feels really collaborative. But to get through to outcomes, it takes a rainbow of talent. It takes a rainbow of skills, but most of all, we need to get through to outcomes. We need technology. So technology is disrupting and transforming our clients like never before, and it's also transforming the way that we can provide solutions to our clients. And in a moment, Lisa is going to go into a bit more detail about what that means. Oh, there's the doorbell. Sorry, they told me not to have any interruptions. I just want to go back to diversity and inclusion. It's super important here at KPMG. It's something that we've transformed in the 5 years that I've been running consulting. Diversity makes us a better organisation, simply put. And so fostering female talent, especially around technology, is super important to me. It's super important to Lisa and to our entire ExCo. And it's something that we've been recognised for in the market again and again. I want a big call out to Liz and the IT's Her Future team. And that's an award-winning initiative developed by and for the women in technology in KPMG. And it's spreading beyond technology. It's spreading beyond women because it's so good. It's so effective. In fact, it's so good, they have to have an entire work stream to manage the awards that they win. It's that good. And so that diversity is important. But I also want to go back to a theme I've talked about, collaboration. So in consulting, we call it in KPMG, we call it connected consulting because of the power of collaboration. So join us and you'll be working with people from all sorts of different backgrounds, all sorts of different skills, deep Big Four specialist content, but also people who are great at transformation, people who are great at change management, program management, people who are great in their sector or the process or the function, people who are great at managed services. And that helps us get all the way through to outcomes. So you get wide exposure to a wide range of talent and experience, and that's a great way of learning. It will also help you grow a fantastic network, in addition to all of our formal training and network. And all of that adds up to something that clients are really loving. I mean, every year the Financial Times surveys our clients. We're consistently rated in the top 1, 2, or 3 management consultancies based on clients' recommendations. So we'd like you to consider growing your consulting career with us. It's a firm that provides access to fantastic experiences, and we want you to thrive with us. The opportunities here are fabulous, really, really great. You're going to discover that as you go through the night with some of our breakout teams. So packed agenda, lots more to come. Q&A in a moment. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes. Let me just pass you on to Lisa to talk a bit more about our technology practice.
Thank you, David, and thank you for leaving me some time. Usually David doesn't, but anyway. So I'm Lisa Hennigan, and I'm our Chief Digital Officer, and I often tell people, in fact, frequently tell people I have the best job in KPMG because I'm responsible for all things to do with technology in the firm, our client-facing technology team, our internal technology team, and for digitally transforming KPMG. And that's something that I'm very proud of and get very excited about. So I'm really, really pleased to welcome you to this event. I wish I could see you all. It makes it a lot harder when we can't actually visually see you in the room. But what I can say is it's never been a more exciting time to work in technology than it is today. And when I see the rate of change that our world is feeling from technology, you know, I could never have imagined that when a long time ago I started my career in technology. It truly is every day impacting the way we live our lives and the way our businesses operate. Now, in KPMG, therefore, it's not a surprise that technology is at the heart of everything that we do. David referred to it. We help our clients tackle their most critical challenges, and we transform as well how we're working as a firm with technology. So that's why we need really talented people like yourselves to join our teams. So what is our team? Well, we have around 2,000 people in the UK in technology today, as well as a significant and growing team in India and in Malta. And we brought together all our technologists into that single team so that we can truly provide brilliant and exciting career paths for technologists so that you feel you are absolutely part of a serious technology business, because we recognize how important that is. Now, as David mentioned, diversity is absolutely critical. You can't succeed in technology if you don't understand your customers. And internal and external customers are diverse. So we have to bring that diversity of thinking to how we work and how we create solutions. The more diverse our teams are, the more creative that we can be. So we love to bring together a mix of backgrounds, skills, life experience, and very, very different capabilities. So this evening, you'll be hearing about IT's Her Future, which David talked about, but actually you'll be hearing about IT's Our Future. And that's where we've expanded the programme to cover way more elements of neurodiversity, whether it be ethnicity, whether it be social background, whether it be neurodiversity. There are so many different aspects that we're passionate about, and we're better to drive that than in technology. Now, as a woman in technology, I'm very, very conscious that we do need to encourage more women to pursue careers in tech. I can assure you, in the early part of my career, there were no role models of women in technology. I've done some presentations where you try and find pictures, there's nothing. It's a very different world today. Well, I'm really thrilled that at KPMG we are helping to drive that change. And I'm not going to say more about IT's Her Future now, other than it really is doing an incredible job. It has totally shifted the dial. We now have, I think, females in technology has moved from 25% to something like 42%. So it's really made a difference for us. Now, what I did want to touch on was what tech is in KPMG. So I just want to give you a flavour of some of the capabilities that you're going to hear about this evening. From a client-facing perspective, we've got engineering, so our cloud and automation and DevOps teams. We've got technology transformation, where we drive transformation across our clients' enterprise. We've got technology strategy, where we're helping clients from strategy, operating model, infrastructure, and sourcing. And we've got security, where we're really focusing on technology risk and things like cyber. Now, Liz mentioned earlier, there are also other amazing capabilities which we aren't covering today, things like data. our software as a service development for things like Oracle, ServiceNow, Salesforce, Microsoft, and our modeling capability. And we are going to have follow-on events when we'll be opening those up to you. But we're also going to introduce you this evening to some of the key areas in our enterprise-wide technology capability, our internal-facing capability, service delivery, information security, architecture and business analysis, program management, and very specifically our audit technology teams. One other thing I just want to mention is KPMG Ignition. You may have heard about it, but Ignition is a mixture of a physical space and a set of services and capabilities where we bring digital transformation to life. And it truly is transforming the way we work with our clients and market leading. So today we can offer in-person, hybrid, and totally virtual events with our clients. And we will be sharing at some point with you a video that you can look at separately. It's a game changer for us and it brings our capabilities to life. And it's something I'm really, really proud of. So I've gone on a bit, probably more than David actually. So I hope that I've given you a bit of insight into what we do and hopefully excited you about the technology area and the opportunities that we can offer. We have incredible people, and in fact, it's the people that make KPMG. But also, really importantly, is we work collaboratively and it's fun. And I can say for myself that KPMG has allowed me to be everything that I could possibly be. So enjoy the evening. And now I think we're going to open to questions.
Yep, perfect. We're going to start with some questions, but I think first things first, a really important thing to talk about now we're changing how we work is what does hybrid working look like at KPMG and what does that personally mean to you, Lisa, especially in our technology departments?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm passionate about this because hybrid working is not any one thing. And in fact, there's no playbook for what hybrid working is. We can't tell anybody. It's very much about creating the mix of the tools, the ways of working, the technology that enables you to work effectively. What we have learned through this period is it's very important that you understand what you want out of a meeting when you're working in a hybrid way. So we've done a lot of work to really enable our people and train them and provide them hints and tips into what works. But the reality is there's no one size fits all. So what we're geared around is helping you to be the best you can be. It will be a mix of some working with clients on their site, some working at home, some collaboration in our offices. And we're just evolving that and really being open to new technologies. And in fact, this week, we've got a workshop, which I'm really looking forward to, where we're going to be pushing the boundaries on what types of incredible new technologies might impact the way we work in the future, things like virtual reality. So lots going on there.
Perfect. Brilliant. And now a question for you, David. Obviously, the best thing about my job is I get to work with every department in KPMG technology. And the one thing they all share is passion. So obviously, passionate people like to keep up their skills. How does KPMG support people in terms of training to make sure that they can be at the top of their game and be the best people that they can be in terms of training and technology skills and options available?
Yeah, I touched on a couple of these themes earlier. It's good. It's a great question. I think one of the great things about KPMG is you know what I found when I joined from a more of a technology type consulting was it's really exciting to be around the specialist Big Four content that comes with KPMG, things like people who understand risk, regulation, strategy, performance, deep understanding of sector, and then as a technologist, you're taking that content and you're getting it through to outcomes. In and of itself, it's a learning experience. So being around that network and in an organisation which is collaborative, that kind of learning from others is a really strong part of the experience. In addition, we've obviously got our more formal structured training. So we have a capability framework which is really clear for everyone in different career paths and structures, and what do we expect at every grade, and how do we translate that into client value. And then we've got our consulting university, KPMG Consulting University, which mirrors that career pathway. You know, we give you the skills and courses that help you at the different stages that you are based on the gap. And people have diverse backgrounds, right? So you're able to say, well, look, you know, I'm strong in this area on the capability framework. I need a bit more of this. So it's a mixture then of, you know, experience on clients, but working with an incredible diverse set of people. People, you know, I didn't know that all that stuff was being done, and that people have that kind of specialism, and then more structured training.
And can I just add to that, we've also got our amazing digital ninjas, which are about how we transform our workforce just to be more digitally minded. I'm sure all of you people watching wouldn't need this, but they really are making a difference where we tap into that digital native. I think we've got 900 or so now that really help people to embed the new technologies.
Perfect, brilliant. And just another question. So obviously, KPMG being a consultancy firm, sometimes it's not necessarily clear how everything works together. So how do our technologists support our consultants, Lisa, especially for those that may not think consulting is for them?
Okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, I think we said technology is in everything that we do. And so what we're not looking to do is we're not looking to get our technologists to go out and sell technology for the sake of it. What our technologists do is they work with our industry and our functional consultants and specialists to work together and go into clients together. It's very collaborative. It's very much about bringing the different skills. And what makes the difference, what I love now, is that we're bringing our technologists in early so that you're there and you're hearing the client problems and you're helping to interpret how we can best work with them and help provide solutions, outcomes, as David said. So really collaborative, not us and them in any way.
Perfect. That's a great question. Brilliant. We've got lots of questions coming through, so we're going to sort of work our way through them. Okay, brilliant. Here's one. So obviously, I think this is quite a common thing. I think lots of people who work in KPMG technology didn't start in technology, myself included. So do you guys have any advice on people who are either changing careers into technology or want to know more about how you change and, you know, what's the knowledge that's expected, or any advice about career changes into technology?
I don't mind, I can start. David, you can then maybe come in, because for me, this is really important. The thing about coming into a company like KPMG is just to have a completely open mind, not to constrain yourself by what you do or have done in the past, but to open your mind to what you could be. And that was the point when I sort of said KPMG's allowed me to be that. In fact, it's encouraged me to be that, because it's pushed me into doing things. I was thinking, oh my goodness, how do I do this? So the key point is to build a network. When you come into a firm to try and do something different, what matters is that you get to know the amazing people around you, the skills they have, and you get them to work with you and help you. And that's how you then personally develop. And what I love is, even at this quite advanced stage of my career, I'm still learning every single day in what I do. That's what it should be.
Yeah, perfect answer.
Perfect. How would you describe the tech culture at KPMG?
Oh, that's interesting. How do we describe the tech culture? I'm not sure it's a tech culture. I think it's a culture in KPMG, which is very open, very embracing of new things. What we are doing is, by bringing our technologists together, we're creating a much stronger tech community and a much more innovative tech community, so that we're giving people the space to start to create, to start to think about how we can do things differently and not always in one rigorous way. But I'm not sure I'd describe it as a separate culture, because what matters in KPMG is we have an inherent culture in our organization, the values that we all care about and the ways that we work together.
Yeah, I think one of the great things about KPMG and technology is we are unencumbered by, you know, old on-premise technology and big offshore delivery centers, Lisa. I mean, there's a sort of historical reality to that, which means that we are able to focus in pretty much exclusively on cloud and digital, and that has enabled us to be, very, very innovative with clients. So connected, powered, and trusted, we'll talk about during the night, are our particular technology-enabled solutions that are getting our clients to value so much quicker, with more certainty, with much more clarity over the business case, and clients are absolutely loving it. And what those solutions are doing is blending our deep expertise and content with the technology solution. So, in working with our cloud providers, Salesforce, ServiceNow, or Oracle or Microsoft, these cloud, the promise of the cloud comes to life when you weave into it some of that specialist content that I was talking about in my previous answer. Clients can't believe it sometimes. You're saying, okay, so you're telling me I get all of this. So that I've answered that in what's the technology culture. So the technology culture is collaborative, and it's supportive, and it's results oriented, and it's trying to get something totally different that the marketplace can't really see at the moment.
Yeah, and actually the one thing I'd add is it's not hierarchical. So it's about the value that you can bring and creating solutions around it. It's very different from that point of view.
Brilliant. So another question here. So I'm passionate about ESG and how our clients respond to this new focus area. How is KPMG using data-driven assets to assist our clients in the changing landscape around ESG and ESG reporting, and especially how that obviously impacts technology and our technology clients? So a big area of KPMG right now.
Well, Lisa, we talk about Climate IQ, that amazing platform solution that we've invested ahead. And this is a good example. Thank goodness for the question, because it's a great example of what I was just talking about, content with new technology.
Well, yeah, and I'm not going to get into the detail of the specific products, but we've got Climate IQ, we've got ESG IQ, we've got a whole product business where we're now creating those assets that we can then bring in and reuse to truly drive insight for our clients, so that when we come in to help them, it's not about process, it's not about reports, it's about actually bringing insight, analysis, using AI, and really helping them to interpret that into how they adapt their business to address the opportunities or frequently the challenges that ESG brings for them. And Climate IQ is certainly making a difference with our deal advisory business as well as for consulting. It's phenomenal acceptance in the market. But there are also lots of other products that we're developing now.
Cool, brilliant. I think we've got time for one final question. I think this is a really nice one to end on. What are the three most valuable characteristics you personally are looking for in a successful employee?
Client empathy, stroke curiosity. We want to. That's one of the things clients really love about KPMG, and it's distinguished in our culture, is the willingness to really spend a lot of time thinking. One of the CIOs, one of the big banks, told me, he said, look, there are lots of our problems around here I wouldn't give to, square brackets, big technology competitors of ours, because I don't think they'd understand the question. He said, look, I know with you, you're always really deeply curious about us, and you're trying to understand our problem. And oftentimes you set our agenda, you ask us the questions, right? And that is a big difference for me, in a big technology place versus KPMG. You're up that sort of curiosity curve with your clients. You're starting earlier in the discussions. So that would be number one for me. But then number two would be passion, drive, and resilience to get through to outcomes. And in order to do that, the third thing would be, just know the team you're taking with you on your journey. and that's below you, above you, and the network and that you're collaborating with. We are exponentially more powerful the more people that we collaborate and team with and embrace in a genuine, authentic, trusted way. So those would be my three: huge amounts of client curiosity and empathy, a determination and drive to get through to outcomes, and knowing who your team is in the broadest possible sense.
And just to add one to that as well, which I think is another
You're supposed to do three.
I'm not doing another three. It'll bore everyone, David. But there's one, because they were great ones. But there is that real openness to learning and to development, and knowing that when you come to us, you might be utterly brilliant in certain areas, but you're not going to know everything. And we're going to have challenges which are going to be different, and be open to asking, getting help and learning and constantly challenging yourself.
Brilliant.
There's one, Lisa, you can do the one that Liz has missed here. One key tip for any aspiring female looking to get into technology.
I don't think it's a different tip for a woman versus anybody else. It is that openness. It is the willingness to collaborate and have confidence in yourself. Yeah. Okay, you are as valuable as anybody else. You can make a difference, and trust the fact that the firm will get behind you.
Yeah, that echoes what I was going to say, which is just do it. No one would be in the least bit surprised. You get all the support you need.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lisa and David, for the session. I now want to welcome Dina and Charlotte. We're going to have a bit more of an in-depth chat about what life is at KPMG. So if we didn't manage to answer your question in the first session, hopefully we can answer it here. So hi, Charlotte and Dina. Thank you again for joining us. First things first, I would love you guys to introduce yourselves to our wonderful audience here this evening. We'll go to you, Dina, first, and then followed by Charlotte.
Thank you very much, Liz. So hi, everyone. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. So I'm going to let everybody call me Dee today. And I'm a partner that leads our intelligent automation capability. And I actually sit within financial services, but technology is what I'm all about. And I'm actually participating today from my kitchen, just outside London.
Brilliant. And hello, everyone. My name is Charlotte Scudamore. I'm a manager in our cloud transformation practice. So been working with some fantastic clients. I've taken them on their cloud journey. I've been at KPMG for just under a year. I'm really excited to share kind of the opportunities and the stories with you today.
Perfect. Brilliant. Thanks, everyone. And again, if everyone can just put any questions that they have for Dee and Charlotte into the chat, that would be great. We have some pre-prepared questions that they're going to answer, but again, I'll mix anything in that comes in from you guys into this session here. This is really a bit of a deep dive into culture and life at KPMG. So again, this is lifting the lid on what goes on the day-to-day. So first question, which is, well, why did you decide to join KPMG? Start with you, Charlotte.
Yep. Absolutely. So around about this time last year, I was in a role previous to KPMG, and COVID had kind of really set in, working from home, and I found I was really bored, really demotivated, and I was looking for a new challenge. So I actually reached out to Adrian, who's the partner in our cloud practice, on LinkedIn. I had a couple of mutual contacts with him, and just kind of said, hi, I'm looking for a new opportunity. Do you have a chance to have a chat? And within 2 weeks, I'd already signed my contract. It was that quick, and I was that impressed from the beginning. So one of the big reasons I decided to join KPMG was the vision and actually the team that I joined. So the cloud transformation team, hearing about the story and the journey that they'd been on, and actually the journey they're about to go on, I really wanted to be a big part of that. Of course, KPMG is a fantastic name to have on your CV as well. And I think one of the big things that sold it to me was actually having a chance to speak with some of the team. So some people I'm working with now, and actually learn what that real life was like. And that really sold it to me. Yes, so from start to finish, it took 2 weeks and I was already signed up.
Perfect. And for you, Dee?
So my career started a bit differently. So I'm actually an accountant, qualified accountant, but I was always more interested in the system I was putting the numbers into than actually pumping the numbers out and reviewing them. So I have spent, I'd probably say 25 years of my career focusing on technology and really looking at how I can focus on, I'd say, technology-enabled change. So I've actually spent maybe 10 years or so in industry before I actually transitioned into consulting. And I joined KPMG 5 years ago. And the reason for that was I just wanted to be in an organization where I could continue to learn. And I knew from the things I'd seen and heard about KPMG that this would be the place. And also I wanted somewhere that was really going to challenge me and give me those new experiences. And what I've really enjoyed is the fact that there's very much a can-do attitude, i.e. if you're asked to do something, you're asked to do something because people think you can do it. Even if you don't think you can, you actually can. So that's that's the reason why I've been focusing on working on digital transformation. So along with Lisa and some others in the team, and really helping our clients to get the best out of that. So yeah, that's the reason why I joined the firm.
And then just to quickly follow on there, what has surprised you the most about life at KPMG since joining?
What was it? Dina, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I think the thing that surprised me most was the culture. So I came in and I didn't really know anyone apart from the people that had interviewed me. And within about half an hour of joining, I'd been walked around the floors, I'd joined lots of calls, so by the end of the week, I had lots of new friends. I think the thing that also surprised me was the flexibility. And that's more about the flexibility that you are given to do your work, and also the level of collaboration. So we are really well connected globally in the way that we help our clients, but also within the solutions that we're actually developing and delivering as well. So that's really surprised me.
Probably a similar story to me. I think the one thing that really surprised me when I came in was actually, this is going to sound awful, how nice everyone was. I was absolutely terrified. So I had not worked in a kind of hardcore consulting job beforehand, and I was really nervous. But actually everyone I spoke to from day one was like, if you have any questions, let me know, please ping me. I had a virtual coffee with everyone, and that openness and willingness of people just to help and support you. And I feel like we all use Teams technology. I can just ping anyone within my team, anyone from partner all the way down, just asking the amount of stupid questions I asked, and they were answered with no judgment, was absolutely amazing. So again, it's definitely the people who we're working with.
Perfect. And again, an open question to both of you, I think from our audience. So what do you like about working KPMG? I know you've touched on this and what your answers are, but what is your best thing? What keeps you here essentially?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I think the thing that keeps me here is the people. I know it sounds really trite and you probably hear that all the time, but it really is the people, and the friendships that I've built while I've actually been here, and also continue to build. So a lot of the time you'll go to a meeting and you'll come out of there and you'll be on a Teams chat with someone that you've never met before, and before you know it, all about the kids, the dog, the whole routine, all of that. And I think that's definitely been invaluable since we've, gone into a number of lockdowns and been working during that pandemic, just having that network of people to reach out to that genuinely care about you. I think that's been great.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I remember my first week, we had I was invited to a virtual drinks hour on a Friday night, and actually kind of having that community within work and in that workspace, but then actually taking it outside of work really helps kind of, it makes you really feel part of the team. And that's been a big reason as to, why I joined and why I'm still here.
Yeah. Charlotte, just a very precise question for you. So what is the cloud team like? Tell us a little bit more about them.
Oh, some of them are listening. What the cloud team like? So when I first joined the cloud team, I think there was about 25 of us within the cloud transformation team. And I think today when we check the numbers, we've got 100 people now within the cloud transformation team. So it's a really great place. It's grown massively as our client demand has grown. But actually, we've got a great diverse kind of set of people that I'm working with. So we've got lots of people from different backgrounds, lots of different, some people have worked in industry and they're bringing that knowledge into the team. But the team we have, for example, every fortnight, we have all hands calls. We get together and actually spend an hour just kind of as a team working together and kind of learning a lot more about each other. And we are always challenged to expand our learning. As we know, cloud is an ever-changing environment. And that's one of the big things we're really pushing with the team at the moment, is that continued development, our client development. But again, as a new team, as we're forming, it's how we bring together ourselves as a team too. So that's a big thing. But everyone's really supportive and it's a great environment. So come find us in the cloud room after this.
So Dean, obviously you started your career sort of in accounting and you obviously made that move to technology. That's a really common theme. I'm getting lots of questions around that. So how did you find that jump, and what was the biggest challenge for you, and what would your advice be to anyone here listening today who wants to make a similar transition?
I think the biggest challenge for me wasn't actually making the move, into consulting or into technology. I think it was overcoming some of the challenges and barriers that I put across myself. So maybe being nervous of thinking that that's not something I can do, or, going along to a meeting, hearing other partners and directors talking who've been in consulting for a long time and thinking, I would never have been able to put those 20 words together and get that message across. And some of it is really just you have to do the looking and the listening. But when you move into consulting, you're invited to go along, and actually you're invited to participate. And so I think for me that the challenge is the ones that we put on ourselves, and it's about how you work through those, because once you've done that, actually, there's a lot of opportunities that are there and you can really get a lot out of it.
Yeah, no, agreed. And Charlotte, so obviously you joined us in lockdown when it took you a long time to be your colleagues face to face. How was that onboarding process in a fully virtual world? How did KPMG make you feel welcome?
Yep, absolutely. So I remember the morning very well. I was waiting, anticipated for my laptop to arrive. So I think that arrived. I almost hugged the DPD man when he arrived. But it was a really busy but kind of intense week. So and it was probably the smoothest transition I've ever had into a new role. So that first day when I'd logged in, I instantly had emails had come through from my performance manager, and everyone who joins also gets a buddy. So my buddy had put some time in my diary for that afternoon. So it was great to see a friendly face first thing on the day I'd started. Well, two friendly faces, my performance, my manager, and then also my buddy. And then throughout that week, I was given we had a KPMG onboarding day. So learning all about the values, and it was great being on there. So there was about 25 other people who had also started. So we were all in there new together. And I spent the rest of the week actually just reaching out to the colleagues on the team. So I've never drunk so much coffee in my life, but actually getting out half an hour with everyone in the team. Everyone made time in their diary just to kind of learn about me. I could learn about them and what they were working on. And I have to say, within a week, I was already on my client engagement. So actually, I kind of hit the ground running, and KPMG trusted me to go and lead a client engagement a week later. But actually, you I would say, spend that time to learn about your team. There's a lot of compulsory training. Make sure you get that done too. But they then trust you to go out and use your skills with their clients pretty quickly.
And again, this is a question for both of you. Obviously, you're both in a position of, you hire into your teams and, you support that growth of your own teams. How do you spot talents with a tech background may not be as strong or straightforward? What are you looking for to, in your colleagues and to grow teams? I'll go to you, Dina, first, and then Charlotte, you can add anything extra.
What I'm looking for, and I think it's a word that I'm probably going to repeat a few times, is curiosity. So that's really what I'm looking for. It's around, whenever I'm interviewing someone, I've already got the CV in front of me, so I've already read that. So that's straightforward. But what I'm really looking for is to really know more about the person that's in front of me. What really motivates them? What is it that they're curious about? What do they want to investigate? And really, it's that passion for that. I'm not really focused on, tell me how many years worth of experience you've got in XYZ solution, because I can read that for myself. It's what has that brought you? But also, is that actually what you still want to do? Or do you want to do something different? Because that's what I did when I came in. So I'm very open to giving people that opportunity to work out how would you like to transform yourself if you were going to be joining us, and what else would you like to learn?
Yeah, and I think on top of that as well, I think, as you said, it's that willingness and openness to learn. But also, I think when people come in and they apply to us, be yourselves within the interview. Don't be afraid to be anything else, because actually we want to make sure we'd be a great fit for each other. So KPMG and anyone we're interviewing. So that would be a big tip for anyone coming in. And I think that's what we're after. We're after that willingness to learn, and that person that will fit in with our culture as well and really drive kind of our clients and our technology forward for the firm.
Now, another open question. I'll start with you, Charlotte. What is something you'd wish you'd known before joining KPMG? So if you were sitting in this right now and you were listening into this, Richard, what is something you wish you'd known?
That's a good question. I think I say probably don't be so nervous coming into a new job. Everyone is so friendly and really kind. And I think also don't panic too much around where you land within the firm. I think that's one of those things. We all work in a really fluid way between different teams. So I work with our cloud transformation team. I also speak to our data team. I also work with our tech transformation team. Actually, everyone, you'll start to see as you kind of build your network, the opportunities go in different ways and they come across in different channels. So just be open to that when you join, and kind of don't think about where you are now, but where you want to be in the future, and actually how KPMG can enable that.
And I think for me, what I'd really wish I'd known was what it was really like to work here. So it was actually a lot better than I ever thought it would be. So I probably would have joined sooner if I'd known, if I'd known that. And also just how innovative we actually are. So I kind of turned up on day one and there was a lot of, wow, we do that, and wow, I can't believe we've got those solutions. And, you know, so, and those wow moments still keep on happening, you know, because we are really thinking about what does the market need? What do the clients need? And we're coming up with solutions for that. And I think that, again, yes, I've been here 5 years and really enjoyed it, but I think I wish I'd joined 5 years sooner, because, you know, that would have been a fantastic journey to be on.
Yeah, agreed. Always the hot topic, work-life balance. So what does work-life balance look like at KPMG? And importantly, how do you keep yours sort of, balanced? And what does it mean to you? Charlotte,
Do you want me? I can go first.
Oh yeah, Dina, please go first.
Yes. So I think work-life balance for me probably changes on a week-to-week basis, to be honest. So I've got the flexibility to work out how much family activity have I got on during the week, and then I kind of make the work balance fit around that. And then in other weeks, how much actual work and client activity have I got on? Because sometimes there are certain things that as a partner I'd have to prioritize, but what I've got is that flexibility to move things around. And certainly what I've seen now that we're working in a more hybrid fashion is how many of our clients also do the same thing. So there are certain periods of time when no one's around because everybody's in the car doing a nursery pickup. So actually we'll do the call before or after, and that's men and women, you know, and certainly during half term, nobody's really doing anything because everybody's taking time out. And again, whereas before you'd still find that we were working pretty hard, but now everyone's like, oh no, we're not working. So I think that we've got a lot more flexibility built into the way that we work now.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And I think like a typical day is always really hard to explain. But actually, we're really trusted to get on with, I say, do the work, not the hours. Make sure you get the job done, but actually you can set your own time around that. So if you do need to go, if you want to go for a walk at lunchtime, you can block that time out in your diary, or you could have a meeting on your phone if a call is required. I always make sure I kind of block out time to go to the gym after work. And actually, if someone says, can I have a call a bit later this evening? I say, well, actually, can we push it back to tomorrow? I'd like to go to the gym. And actually it's, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll pick it up tomorrow. And it's very much accepting of that. Also probably worth mentioning, we actually have a code in our timesheets, which is kind of a COVID code. So if you have, for example, you need to go, if something's popped up or something unexpected due to the current situation. So if you have kids, you've got to go pick them up, or you've got someone in your family's got COVID, you can actually put that time into your timesheet and say, actually, I've had to take a couple of hours out to deal with a situation that's arisen due to the pandemic. And that's really taken into account. So I think that's a great place to work based on that.
Yeah, great. I know this is always a really hard question for anyone to answer, but what does a day look like when you're working at KPMG? Dina, you can go first.
Yeah, I think for me, a day, what does a day look like? I usually think about the end of the day and then work my way backwards from there. So for me, the day starts off with, I actually do my workout first thing in the morning, so I can make sure that I've got breakfast already done for my son by the time he comes downstairs. Then I usually spend the first part of the morning just going through some emails. I do take a chunk of time off most afternoons as well, just to do other activities. And then I do a bit more work later in the evening. So that's how a typical day works for me. So lots of flexibility and timing built into that.
Yeah, and I would say I have to start the day with a coffee, and I suppose I look to log on between 8 and 8:30 in the morning, and start every day around 9 o'clock. I normally have a team catch up. So the project that I'm working on at that point, we always catch up in the morning, and then check in, see how everyone's doing, what's the plan for the day, and actually have any issues come up that we need to combat and how we can do that. And then going on throughout the day, it's a lot of client meetings, I help recruit into the cloud team, so time based around that, but also a lot of time talking and collaborating with colleagues too. So again, talking to people on Teams and emails, but I do usually finish between kind of 6 and 6:30 in the evening, as I said, to kind of take that time out for myself, and I would log back on if necessary, but that's not something that happens on a kind of regular need to happen basis.
Perfect. I think we've got time for one more question. Apologies if your question wasn't answered, but we will be here all night, so you can come and have a chat to us one-to-one. What would be your piece of advice for our audience here today? This could be about anything, but I think, about careers and sort of ownership of that, I think would be a great topic.
I would probably say my advice would be confident, be curious, and actually ask for what you want. So I spent a lot of time waiting for people to ask me, and then I woke up and realized I need to ask. so that would be the advice that I'd give to people.
And I would say just go for it. I think feel free. You've got a great opportunity here to meet lots of different people across the organisation. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Any questions, as Dina says, ask for what you want. And do we give you as a firm, but as a team, what you're looking for in your new job? And also don't be afraid to try and ask for a bit more time with the people you meet today. We have a lot of people who have kind of chats with. That's how I came into the organisation, was kind of speaking to someone on an informal basis and then building that relationship. So don't be afraid to take that step today.
Perfect. Thank you, Dee and Charlotte. It's been lovely speaking to you. Now I'd like to welcome Davidthorne, who's our CIO, to the main stage, who's going to have a brief chat to you, and then we're going to go to our breakout sessions.
Hi there. How long have we got, Liz? Can you say? Or are you offline now?
5 minutes, David.
5 minutes. Okay, super quickly, yeah. Hi, my name's Davidthorne. I'm the CIO for KPMG here in the UK. I've been here about 3 years. My background was actually 20 years in investment banking, and then I flipped into industry and did an IT and tech transformation as a client of KPMG for 5 years. So I work very closely with our CEO advisory, tech transformation, and our security consulting team. So I've got kind of intimate knowledge of how we operate in the market, and that was a fantastic experience for me over 5 years. And so much so that I joined the company. Now, what I look after is what is called enterprise-wide technology, and that's the internal IT function that looks after keeping us safe, delivering our operational outcomes, and transforming and changing the tool set that we use to run our business across audit, deals, tax, legal, consulting. And in that regard, we have actually over 400 people, 100 plus 100 people in our captive in India. And what we did as part of our transformation over the last 3 years is we moved our internal IT function, which was actually in finance, under Lisa to create this integrated technology team. So we have our connected tech team that everyone has been speaking about now, which is supporting our clients, generating the revenue. And then we have our technologists who support our internal functions, and that's enterprise-wide technology. But the great thing, fantastic thing, is we're now all in one community of practice that is technology, and we actually cross-pollinate people, we cross-pollinate services. The connected tech function that Lisa has on the other side provides services to our internal functions across ServiceNow, across engineering, and also across testing. So we benefit from what we do in the market. We can be client zero, and we support taking those services to transform what we do locally and into the market. Super quickly, what we have is we have what you would expect in a tech function. We have a strategy and architecture team. We have a CTO community across our capabilities. So we have a business-led IT, but we have a centralized governance through Dave Wood, our CTO, to drive standardization across our capabilities, and using the CTO community for that. And that's been a great and exciting development that we've had, because historically that wasn't so aligned. We've invested significantly in the security. We're a regulated industry. We have a lot of potential risk there. So we've got a significant security and InfoSec team led by Andy Samsonoff and Paul Spacey. And that's a big investment that we've done over the year. We also invested in our data team run by our Chief Data Officer, Lynn Bailey, and that's to transform how we manage our data and how we use that for competitive advantage. And then in addition, we have our service delivery function that runs all our IT, and that's super important because that keeps our lights on and keeps us operating day in, day out. That's a service management function that works with our outsourced provider, IBM and Kyndryl. Then we have change functions across audit, digital workplace. We've just rolled out to everybody a whole new set of Microsoft Surfaces and iPhones, so that's a really transformational experience for everyone. We have a core infra organization that transforms across our networks, our ServiceNow, our integration, our cloud. We still have a data center, so we're moving a lot of that as quickly as we can onto the cloud platform, working with our cloud engineering team to get the best practices from industry on that. We have a project management expertise function that wraps around all our change, with a significant amount of change, and that's run by Catherine Kempster. And then we have a business value realization, where our transformation is to deliver value to our customers and our internal clients, and that's about making sure that we deliver the services to the stakeholders. Finally, last two things I would add is Lisa and I represent the UK on the global leadership, so we have a service management organization that plugs into our global colleagues to ensure that we're getting the best from that relationship, and we're driving the direction globally. KPMG are obviously in over 150 countries and over 250,000 people. So there's a lot of IT that we need to work with globally, and that's an exciting opportunity that we have. And then finally, the last thing is we work very closely with, as I said earlier, the connected tech services, so we get the benefit of what we do in the market internally into our transformation, and we support them as a client zero. So EWT is a great place to work. There's a lot of opportunity there. We're really now becoming an integrated part of the business rather than just a cost center that you could argue we were in the past. We're becoming a transformation partner with the business, and that was about why we invested in our data and our strategy and architecture and our security team. So please join the relevant chat rooms. If you don't know where to go, I think there's a careers FAQ team. So we'll be on there to guide you, maybe have some discussion on the type of thing in more detail I just alluded to, and support you in any kind of breakout decisions where you want to go and get more information. So don't worry if you don't know what works. Come to the careers FAQ. We also have a Life at KPMG room. I think that we talked a little bit about that already. So there's a lot of interesting facts in there about how we run and how we operate and how we work. And then, of course, finally, don't forget the CV. That's the thing that we can work on. And I think there's going to be a place to post that in the chat going forward. So thank you for coming. And hopefully I look forward to talking to some of you, if I can, in the Careers FAQ room.